This trimester in R&D, we, me and my group decided we were going to do animating in Blender, and it looks quite complex at first, all these options and buttons on the side, but for the most part, like, we don't use many of these, and it's a lot easier than it looks. So first, to animate something, you need an object with a skeleton in it. Now, the skeleton, I realize it may be confusing since we are using a literal skeleton to animate, but the black lines in the skeleton here are the bones, and that is the skeleton that allows the model itself to be animated. And we can change the looks of those, but I keep it at sticks because it looks the nicest and cleanest to me. Now, to make him animated, we can, with these bones, we can move his arms, and pretty much anywhere there is a bone, we can move, like his head. Like, you can see his collarbone moving, probably in ways it shouldn't, but that's because this is the first model I ever uh, put bones to, so it's obviously going to have a few problems with it. And now, to actually animate, you want to move this current frame you're looking at. So you just move it over from the start frame. And so now we're editing what he's going to do on frame 10. So if we grab this bone, we can rotate it along the y-axis and then let's just make him look like he's waving for the sake of this video. Just you can also select multiple bones at a time to change it once. So let's rotate that on the z-axis and then on the x, so it looks like he's actually like waving at you like, hey guys, that's yeah, there. It also is possible to make things like turn and break in ways that they're not supposed to, so you gotta watch out for that. Gotta do your best to avoid it. So now that we've made it so his hands like that, we can go to insert, whole character, and that'll make it so now you'll see these little diamonds are here as well. And that means that he's going to move from this first frame that we've started on to frame 10, where his hand's up in the air like that. Now I'm going to just move his hand a little more, like to make it a better wave animation. And then, yeah. Something else you can do is if you want to make him, like, I've got him here, and he should probably move his hand back down. So if you want to move it from here to here, like this is the frame that I want to, this is probably going to be useful again, so I can copy that and then go back to down here and then paste it in, and that'll have the exact same frame and positioning that is on frame 10. So now it looks like he's waving. So he's starting out with this, and then he's raising his hand up, then he's waving. Now, you will also notice these things. This is like these things floating in the background. This one's the camera. This is how it's rendered from. If you go to render, this camera right here is what you're seeing the render from. So right now it's focused on his body. That's not very good render place. Very scientific terms here. So we gotta move that around a bit. This is really just trial and error because yeah, we don't need his bottom half for this animation. And you'll also notice the lights isn't very well. So all the lights over here, kind of behind him. So we gotta move that this way, over there. Now the lights more in front of him, and that should look okay. He looks a tad bright, but should be fine. So now we've got him waving his arm with a pretty good camera angle, light source. Except now we can also do many more things with him. Like we can grab these three bones in the middle. Like this is where his legs and his body meet. Like it starts here and then it goes down and like that and that and that. So we can do that and we can move it and this will move his entire body. But this is the first frame. If you don't actually insert the frames, it'll just go back to normal once you change the frames. So let's go to 10. Let's make him come forward a little bit. Just so yeah, I did want him on frame 10. Let's make him just come forward a bit. Insert whole character, and that'll make him look like that'll make him look like he just goes forward and back. This isn't a good animation, but it works for the purpose of explaining everything to you. Now, once you have all the frames in there, well, first of all, you can set how many frames be rendered over here on the right. And we've only got 20 frames, so it wouldn't do much good to render all 250. So 20 and frame 20. So now we can go up here to render animation. And this goes quite fast because it's a very uh, low poly model. So it's very easy to render. Now we can go here to play rendered animation. And there's the skeleton moving. And this is a very crude animation too. It's a lot more. I can get a lot more fleshed out with this, so we're not gonna we're not gonna save those changes. So we're gonna go back into it. Gonna open one of my other projects that I've done. Uh, this one. It's got a lot more frames in it. It's got a little more motion to it. He starts out down, goes up, and then comes back. So this one's looping because the first and last frames are the same. Now it would take a while to render this, so I'm not going to do that. However, this one does show like a lot more movement. Like we've got like his knees bending. We've got him like bending down. He's got his back arched, his head down. His arms are kind of down. Then you move up like this, and it gets it starts to get really neat looking once you start going through all the bones. And in the project, we have no set projects, but we do have a lot of these files. Now, they aren't all animations, only the ones with skeletons in it are in fact animations because we've only animated with skeletons so far. I'm also going to show some of the animations that I have made previously, like the finished animations. They're not actually finished, but the like animation part itself is finished. So this one is uh, skeleton dancing. These are all GIF files. This one's a skeleton it dancing. This one is a skeleton dabbing. I, this one is a skeleton praising the sun. If you're wondering why I'm only using skeletons to animate with, it's because it's the only model we've worked with so far that has bone structure to it. Yeah. And if you would notice, like all of my uh, GIFs that I'm making here, I do try to make them loop so that it's not choppy. Like it's played. This is the second time this is playing. That's the beginning, and then it goes back down. I do try to make it look smooth. So yeah, these are the final products. We haven't gotten into editing these to make them look like nice backgrounds, all that. We haven't gotten into that. We've only been doing the animation so far.